It is summertime here in South Africa, but anywhere in the world, when it's summertime, you have to deal with three things: ticks, fleas, and flies. So let's start off by talking about ticks. Now, this is something that appears all over, and they are dreadful little creatures. They get onto your dogs and they bite them, and if they have the parasite, they can then cause biliary in your dog, and in some very tragic cases, the dog can die. You need to ensure that your dogs are covered for ticks and fleas and flies, but ticks especially if you do take them out. Long grassed areas, areas where there might be ticks. However, what some people don't understand, and I do get people saying to me, "Oh, but my dog never leaves the garden. It doesn't go where there are ticks. I don't need to put stuff onto my dogs for ticks." Yes, you do. There are many birds that carry ticks, and they come into your garden, and those ticks can drop off the birds and then get onto your dogs. So even if your dogs do not leave the garden, you need to protect them from ticks. Please go to your vet and find out what products are available. There is a product that your dog can take, ingest, and that lasts 4 to 6 months, and then there are topical treatments. There is a lot of controversy around the one treatment that dogs ingest. There are many stories of dogs that have died using this product, and then there are many people who absolutely swear by this product. It is therefore up to you to decide whether you want to use a product where the dog ingests it or whether you want to put on topical. I personally put on topical products. I don't give my dogs a pill or anything to ingest. Putting on topical means you put something at the back of the neck and maybe even by the base of their tail. This then travels down through the hair, and hopefully when the tick gets onto the dog, they will die from this product. Topical, you do have to do in a shorter time than the ones that the pill that the dog takes. You possibly have to do it every month, 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Again, read the product's instructions and follow it. The other problem with some of these products is that dogs swim, and dogs that swim, and you put on a topical product, it might wash off and then your dog is not covered. But there are products available for dogs that get into water. Choose the right one and hopefully your dog will be covered. But now one further thing to do with ticks. Please check your dogs for ticks. Many people have been putting on something on their dogs and they think the dog is covered, and the next minute there is a tick on their dog. That product might not be as good as you imagined it, or it might be coming to the end of it being effective, and now a tick gets onto your dogs. Do not take a chance that you think your dog is covered and somehow a tick gets on your dogs. If you are a kind of an owner that feels your dog, pets your dog, you should pick up that there is a tick on your dog. But all owners should be looking at their dogs, looking at their tummies particularly, that sort of areas, chest, head. Go over your dog every day to check that there are no ticks on your dog. And more so if you've taken your dog out to an area where the grass is longer and your dog might have picked up some ticks. The next thing we're going to talk about is fleas. Many people say to me, "My dog is scratching like mad, but it doesn't have fleas. I can't find any fleas on it." Well, you might never find a flea on a dog, because many times the fleas are living in the house or the environment. They jump on the dog, they feed off the dog, then they get back off again. So you might never see the flea. What you will see is the residue. You will see the little black flecks, and that is dried blood. You will see this predominantly in the tail area of the dog, and if you're seeing this, then you know that your dog does have fleas. You might not see them scurrying around the dog, but the dog has fleas. So again, go to the vet and get a good product that will get rid of fleas. Many of these products are twofold or even threefold, but ticks and fleas are usually covered by the same product. So you put this product on the dog and hopefully that will get rid of the fleas. But even more important, you need to clean the environment. If your dog has had fleas, got fleas, you need to do something to the room or the rooms where the dog is being around. You have to get a defogger or something to spray to get rid of the fleas in the environment. You're not going to help the dog if there's still fleas in the environment, because as soon as that flea product finishes on the dog, those fleas will come back again. Or worse still, will get on you or your family. So get rid of the fleas in the environment as well as putting stuff onto your dog. A good flea shampoo to give your dog a nice shampoo, and then put on the product. And lastly, let's talk about flies. This is a big one for me because a lot of people do things for ticks and fleas, but they are not aware of flies. Flies are terrible on dogs, and I feel so sorry for the dogs that have these flies attached to the ears, and predominantly dogs that have prick ears tend to get more flies on them. They buzz around, sit on them, and cause terrible, terrible sores. I feel very sorry for these dogs that I see with their ears being munched by flies. So what do? Again, you can go to your vet and get a product that works on ticks, fleas, and flies, and hopefully that will help with the flies not landing on the dog's ears or even the body. Many flies even get attracted to the body of the dog. So you need to wash the dog in good shampoo that is going to get the dog clean and get rid of any smell. A very unclean dog will attract flies. You then can get extra products that you can spray on the dog or even put on the ears a kind of a paste so that goes on the dog's ears, and the flies are distracted from going to the ears. This is like Flygo or something that you can put on the dog to get rid of flies. I have found that many flies tend to go to older dogs. I don't know why, but they do tend to go more to older dogs. So if you have an older dog that spends time outside, please do something about the fly situation. Put up fly traps. Do something for the dog to make sure that it's not going to be attacked by flies. And if possible, and you allow your dogs inside, bring the dogs in during the time where there are lots of flies around. I never leave my dogs outside in summertime because I find that they do tend to get hot, and sometimes they have these flies, despite what you're doing to discourage the flies. But if your dog cannot stay inside for long times and is an outside dog, please do something about flies. I find it very sad when I see these dogs with really ears that have been chewed up by flies, and some of them walking around or lying there covered with flies. Get rid of the flies in the environment and also help by putting something on the dog to get rid of flies. So those are the 3 important things for summer: ticks, fleas, and flies. Help your dogs. Don't let them suffer from these 3 dreadful creatures.